The season's at that point again where trade-offs are just around the corner. So the question on everyone's mind is definitely going to be whether Lamar is leaving the Ravens finally or not. And if he does, who will take him in? The Jets sure do have their sights set on this epic athlete, but will they be able to get him on their team? Find out all about this and more in the video. Starting with the Baltimore Ravens signing an NFL record contract ahead of Lamar Jackson's talks. Roquan Smith is the latest NFL star to sign a lucrative contract, but even though the Baltimore Ravens have signed him, there are still concerns about teammate Lamar Jackson. But the Ravens and Smith have struck a good deal. They've agreed to a 5-year $100 million, which is around 82.2 million pounds, making Smith the first linebacker in history to earn $20 million per season. In pounds, that totals up to 16.45 million. Wowzers. The deal guarantees $45 million in full guarantees and $60 million in total guarantees. Smith is believed to have represented himself throughout the entire negotiation process, so the Ravens can at least rest easy about one of their key players moving forward. But there's still speculation about quarterback Lamar Jackson's future, who could leave at the end of the season. Who will replace him? That's still a question unanswered. Following up, Jackson throwing away a good chance. Jackson made a significant decision earlier this season when he turned down a 5-year $250 million contract with the Ravens that would have paid him a guaranteed $133 million. It's been reported that Jackson was hesitant to commit because the Ravens were struggling at the time, and the quarterback may believe he was worth more to the team. But did he sacrifice his own future for the team? When considering the amount Deshaun Watson was given when signing with the Cleveland Browns back in March, his demands are somewhat justifiable because he signed a fully guaranteed 5-year $230 million deal. That made the contract the largest deal and the most guaranteed money in NFL history at the time. Next up, what happens for Lamar now? The Ravens finished the regular season with a 10-7 record, despite the fact that Tyler Huntley played a significant role due to Jackson's injury issues. Jackson is racing to be ready for their playoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals that's coming up soon, but any week now could be his last. And that's always something bittersweet, to watch a good player with a good run on a team leave. The Ravens have the option to postpone negotiations, giving them more time to re-sign the former first-round pick. They're likely to counter with a new offer, but Jackson has made it clear to the franchise what he believes he's worth. He also has the support of head coach John Harbaugh, who recently said that we all already know how much he adores Lamar. Everything about Lamar as an athlete is an asset to him. He said that he always has and always will appreciate him as a player, but the decision isn't in his hands, and Ravens fans will have to wait until the start of next season to see if Jackson will still be with the team. Following the Smith trade, the Ravens have demonstrated their willingness to do business, but other teams will be watching. One of the more vigilant ones is the New York Jets. Continuing with, this offseason, the New York Jets plan to go all in on Lamar Jackson. The New York Jets may be looking to make a big splash at quarterback this offseason by bringing in former NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. At least that's what we're all hoping for. Jackson is set to become a free agent at the end of the season, and his future with the Baltimore Ravens is in doubt after several stalled contract extension talks over the last year or so. SNY's Connor Hughes recently discussed the Jets' plans for the quarterback position this offseason, and he specifically mentioned Jackson as someone the team is interested in. Of course, all of this is dependent on whether or not Jackson is made available, but if the Ravens are willing to listen to trade offers, it appears that the Jets are willing to go all in on the former All-Pro quarterback. They've mentioned that if he's made available and the Ravens are open to offers, the Jets will do everything in their power to position themselves to make a very compelling offer for Lamar Jackson. Moving on, the New York Jets believe Lamar Jackson will help them become Super Bowl contenders. Hughes insists that the Jets will be first in line if the Ravens entertain trade offers this offseason to trade Jackson, and he believes they have a good chance of getting him on the team. This offseason, General Manager Joe Douglas and head coach Robert Saleh are both aware that their jobs are on the line. They understand that if they don't address the quarterback position and make the playoffs in 2023, their time in New York will be over. While players like Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo are clearly more realistic and attainable options, the Jets won't be afraid to make a move for a superstar quarterback if one becomes available. The Jets are eager and hopeful to go big game hunting this time. The team depends on it. Following up, a matter of money. Hughes compared the Lamar Jackson situation to that of Deshaun Watson a few years ago. The Jets never seriously considered trading for Watson, even before the allegations, because they were unwilling to part with the draft capital required to acquire him. The Jets believed that those draft picks were required to help them build a competitive roster. They no longer feel that way as the 2023 offseason approaches. They believe that with the right quarterback, their roster is strong enough to compete for a championship. Jackson, a former MVP, is still one of the NFL's most dynamic athletes. He's had some injuries in the last 2 seasons, but there's no denying his talent and ability on the field. Next up, will the Ravens give up Lamar? To this point, there's been no direct indication that the Ravens will make Jackson available this offseason, but either the Ravens or Jackson will have to lower their contract demands. Jackson's looking for a deal similar to Deshaun Watson's. The Ravens, a team known for being stingy with guaranteed money, have rejected the idea. To reach an agreement, one of the two parties must yield. If Jackson does become available, the Jets will face stiff competition. There will be plenty of teams interested in trading for a quarterback of his caliber, but Douglas and the Jets appear to be willing to go as far as necessary. We'd say don't get your hopes up for the Jets trading for Lamar Jackson, but if he becomes available, expect the Jets to do more than their usual due diligence this time. Moving on, Woody's opinions on the trade. Owner Woody Johnson firmly believes the New York Jets are just a quarterback away from breaking their 12-year playoff drought, and he's willing to pay a high price for a proven veteran. Absolutely, he told a small group of reporters in his office at the Jets facility on Thursday. We have a spending limit, so you can only spend so much. But yes, that's the missing puzzle piece. Zach Wilson was drafted 2nd overall in 2021 and was expected to be a key piece, but he was benched twice in 2022 and appears to be destined for a backup role in 2023. Despite his and the offense's struggles, Johnson believes this team is loaded and ready to go. He says their defense was an unbelievable story last year, going from last place to close to the top in defense in every measurable way. He thinks it'll look pretty good if they can do the same thing on offense. Following up, how desperate are the Jets? Several intriguing names, ranging from free agents to possible trade targets, Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Lamar Jackson, will be available in the offseason, and most notably, Derek Carr. Wilson has already received a guaranteed $35 million investment from the Jets. According to Johnson, the plan is to keep him, but he admits that there's no denying Zach had a difficult year. He still believes he saw some real talent in him. His confidence level, whatever it was, dropped last year, which was certainly frustrating for him. Then there was the quarterback rotation, which is extremely difficult in the NFL. According to sources, the quarterback instability 3 different starters contributed to the late season collapse. This included a 6-game losing streak that cost the Jets, 7-10, a playoff spot, and left Johnson fuming after each loss. The Jets then confirmed offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur's departure, calling it a mutual parting. Plus, offensive line coach John Benton is unavailable. They're also looking for a wide receivers coach because Miles Austin has been suspended for a year for gambling on professional sports. In short, they aren't doing that well at all. They need someone like Lamar. Finally, Johnson denied that the Jets have a playoff mandate. "No, I don't do mandates," said Johnson, who has 6 postseason appearances in 23 years of ownership. He says they've been waiting a long time. 54 years since the last Super Bowl is far too long. He said he'd like to see that change quickly, but mandates don't work. There was no mandate per se, but Johnson said very assuredly that the roster is playoff ready, confirming it has all those young, unbelievable stars. Johnson is optimistic about a turnaround in 2023, reminding everyone of the defense's 1-year turnaround. In terms of yards allowed, it improved from 32nd to 4th. That's a huge jump because of the uncertainty surrounding the quarterback position, and with 2023 potentially being a make-or-break year for Saleh, it may be difficult to attract top coordinator candidates. Saleh disagreed, claiming that the team has young talent and a strong defense. He said that the new coordinator will be involved in the quarterback decision. He thinks that when it comes to quarterback play, they're going to be as aggressive as hell and make sure we do everything we can to satisfy that position. Maybe that's exactly where Lamar comes in. That's all for today's video. Do you think Lamar will join the Jets? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.